So welcome to our next segment on playing over changes, and in the last one we were looking at a way of playing over C7 using our major pentatonic and also our F major scale. Reason being, F has the B flat in it, which is what we need to create the sound of C7. It's very important when you think about chords. Say you're playing this as A shape C. I think most people would agree with that. Okay, but when you see this, you don't think of it as something that's completely different. You've never seen before in your life. Well, okay, it's slightly different. It's just a little variation on that shape, in the same way as C7 is. Anyway, enough about that just for the moment. What I want to do this time is just look at a second approach for what we might be able to do with a C7. Now that doesn't preclude the first approach at all. It may well work very nicely in combination with it, but in order to get ideas across, it's quite important that we polarize our thinking. So, okay, here's a little concept. Earlier on, what we're going to do then, we're going to extend our C7th chord, and we're going to make it a C9th. Now that means we can play G minor over it. The top half of this is G minor. So our means to play over the C7th would be to think in G minor. Okay, now this raises a very interesting prospect. In the previous extension of a chord, the C major 9, it was C and G put together. In this extension, it's C and G minor put together. So you could actually play those second two chords as G and G minor. Okay, so here's what happens if we think of playing from G to G minor. Okay, now you can hear immediately there's a massive change between those two chords. It's a very, very effective thing to do. Now, again, I've tried to keep that as simple as I possibly can because it's important just to hear those ideas very clearly. Now, if you also consider the fact that we could be combining that with, in the case of our C major 7 or C major 9, we've got the G. We've also got our C scale sitting there as well. In the case of the C9, we've got G minor, but also we've also got the F scale as well. So the potential across those two chords is huge, and this will come in very, very handy if you end up in a situation where you've got to play over a major 7th chord or a 7th chord for an extended period of time. And really, when you consider, just talking about the 7th chord for a second, that the 7th chord is the meat and drink, if you will, of most rock music and certainly all blues music, then this is going to be a very useful thing to have in your toolbox. Anyway, okay, now what we haven't talked about so far is joining chords together, and I think it's at this point really that I'd like you to try playing stuff which connects those chords together. So we start with our C. We then move to our C major 7, possibly thinking about G, certainly thinking about our phrasing, and then to G minor. So just to give you a little example, let's suppose I start, and again I'll keep this very simple. Yeah, and you can hear very easy to pick up where those chord changes are. Okay, so that's quite a bit to get your teeth into, so that'll do for this particular segment. So thank you very much for watching, and please, if you could subscribe, that would be great, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.